Hey guys, and welcome back to another rendition of what you should be watching with me, Brad Fitzpatrick, and this ever so lovable gentleman, Zach Washburn. Say hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Today's going to be a rather interesting show. We are not doing movies today. Per Zach's request, because I put him on the spot because I hadn't come up with a topic, we are doing TV show dramas. Because Game of Thrones is out, and it is not on my list.
It's actually not on mine either, and I will give my reason. It is an honorable mention, though.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it is a good show. Don't get me wrong. It's just considering it's how it's out right now. I'm not going to put it on my list.
Yeah.
Okay, we discussed a little bit, and I had to take off lots because I had a lot of comedies because that's kind of who I am when it comes to TV shows. I love comedies, but I think I've got mine rounded out perfectly, and I don't think Zach has any of mine on his list.
Doubtful.
Yeah. But all right, how was your week, Zach?
It was good. I had an eventful week.
Anything big happen?
Yeah, on the job in the job market, it did. Yeah.
Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I thought you loved me. I thought you talked to me about these things.
Well, it all kind of happened kind of suddenly. So
Well, I mean, is it a good big thing happening or a bad big thing happening?
I think so. It's good for both of us. Monica got a new job, and I'm starting a new job. So
Nice, congratulations. I'm happy for
yeah,
you.
yeah. We're hoping it'll be a turn in the right direction, so to speak.
There you go. Now I got a new car.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no. Why? Like everybody's like, oh, congratulations, you got a new car. I don't need a congratulations. I need my old car back. It was good. Like this one is not.
I know, but it sucks not having a car. You admit that yourself. So
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least you have a car. That's what I meant. Congratulations on.
yeah. At least I can drive.
Yay!
But it's not good. It's a brand new car though. 39 miles on it, which is nice. But it's like
Yeah,
I don't have almost none of the amenities that my other car had, and it was 2015.
that's that. Mine's 2015. I've never had a new car. I've always got one used.
Well, personally, my last three cars were brand new cars. Like drove off the lot with less than underneath 50 miles,
Yeah,
which has been nice. I've had a job that can handle that, and I mean the payments on this one, really isn't all that bad. So
hmm
I can't, be choosers, and I can take it back next year and probably upgrade.
Well, there you go.
There you go. But all right, guys, enough about our daily mundane lives. Let's get on with the show. Top 5 TV show dramas right now. Zach, what is your number 5?
Before I get into that, like I said, I have some honorable mentions and some certain criteria that I have for myself.
Okay.
There were some I might have actually put on here, but I haven't finished them yet. I actually just finished a video tonight for the Cynical Bastard on what I like to call entertainment overload.
Hmm.
I haven't uploaded it yet, but it will be uploaded soon. Just a little thing I call like you get so bogged down with TV shows, and movies, and video games, and just everything, trying to catch up on things. And I've gotten that rut. Like Game of Thrones. Well, I don't want to mention all these shows. They might be on your list. I don't want to ruin it. But they would be my honorable mentions. I haven't even finished them. I'm so far behind on all of them. I'm like 3 or 4 seasons behind. But I
Right.
will mention Game of Thrones. That's one. So I'm not going to mention any shows on this list that I haven't finished or maybe kind of disappointed me in the end. Maybe I did finish disappointed, but they were still good shows. But
Right.
I'll honorably mention them later. Okay?
Right. Me too. Me too.
So my number 5, though, that I did finish is Deadwood.
Good choice.
Yeah. Love Deadwood. They got the movie coming out to finish everything up. I'm very excited about. So,
But such a really, really good show, though.
yeah.
Like one of the better Western TV shows.
Oh, absolutely.
Next to Briscoe County Jr. In my opinion.
Bristol County Jr.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Zach.
they really haven't had like not that I liked it, but popular Western shows like way back in the day. Like we're talking like Bonanza and Gunsmoke and all them.
Man.
Deadwood was really like the more new age the
Right.
first new age.
And instead of being like a comedy almost, it really like centered it to where it
Yeah,
needed to be. Good drama though, really good drama. Good acting, man.
great
Talk
acting,
about
really
acting.
gritty.
Oh, like I remember a lot of that TV show, and I still love it. And I'm like every time I see any of the actors from that show in anything else, I'm just like, yeah, I'm hooked because
Yeah,
immediately you know that they're good actors. And they know that they can pull it off.
absolutely.
Good choice for number 5.
Thank you.
That's a show you can rewatch over and over and over again and just be happy. Which again, as you said it, the movie is coming out,
Yes.
and supremely happy about that. It needed it.
Yeah, there's a lot of TV shows that were on HBO. They need to have a movie to finish things up. You know.
Anytime, like I feel like anytime something's on like Fox or HBO or like CBS, they miss the mark on certain types of TV shows, you know, and it's really really bad. But all right, number 4. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is, this is a great one. Watch it till the end. I watched the little TV movie that came out. 24.
Oh yeah, okay.
Big 24 fan. Love Kiefer Sutherland.
Kind of
I
like
was,
Kiefer suddenly like disappeared for a long time,
yeah,
and then like came back in the show and was just
this
like
really did bring
exploded.
it really brought back his career. He was great in it. I mean, the character of Jack Bauer was just awesome. You know, he was that hero you'd want in your corner fighting for you. You know.
I mean, maybe it was Keith Sutherland though. No,
Yeah,
don't
just
give.
Kiefer Sutherland alone. I'd want Kiefer Sutherland just by himself.
I
Not
mean,
even playing,
I would just like to hear him talk.
yeah, he's great.
I mean, he's got that nice, dulcet tones.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's a really good show. Like, they did a lot of spin-offs for that show too, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they did. They didn't do exactly a spinoff. They had his original seasons, and then they had 2 kind of like short TV. They had a mini season to kind of wrap things up with him, and they had a small TV, a 2-hour TV movie that kind of bridged the gap, I think, between season 7 and 8. And then they recently had not a remake but a reboot. I don't know if it's still on. Do you know if it's still on? Do you know if it's still on, Brad?
I believe so. Cause the last thing I heard about it, they were doing it. But I don't think it was a reboot. I just think it was like he's continuing off. He's not Jack Bauer. He's somebody else.
Right, but
And Jack Bauer was still
yeah,
there.
he still works for that crime unit, and
Yeah.
but I don't know if it was a not. Well, I didn't say remake; it's a reboot.
Yeah, like I don't even think it's like a reboot. I think it's like a continuation, but like a space. Like it's like 24, and then like a subtitle.
Well, how do you define reboot?
Like a complete remake.
No,
That's what
there's
yes.
remake, and
No.
then there's reboot.
No, no. They're the same thing.
No, I
Yeah.
disagree. I disagree totally.
Okay, so a remake is basically taking the original idea and then remaking it. A reboot
Right.
is taking the original idea and remaking it in a different way.
I disagree.
That
a
is
reboot.
yes.
Okay, like for instance, the Dallas reboot was a continuation of the old story.
And that's not a reboot, though.
Yes, it was.
It's a sequel.
It was not a Dallas remake. It was a Dallas reboot.
But they were... No, Zach. No, like...
Okay, guys,
oh,
you out there watching, we'll have to move on, Brad. But anyone watching out there, comment whether you agree with me or Brad on, is there a difference between remake and reboot?
there absolutely is.
Yes, I know. There's a difference. Thank you.
No, I'm... ah! Ah!
I just pulled a Bugs Bunny on you.
Brad hurts.
I get what you're saying. I just disagree. I think that there's 2 definitions. I think there's remake and reboot. I think there's 2 different things. There is, Brad.
I mean, okay, I'll agree to disagree, but just sometimes, Zach, you are absolutely wrong. So that's...
I know, just not about this. That's all.
Sure. Well, let's move on. You're right. Let's move on. Okay. So number 3 then. What is your number 3?
Another three, another HBO great, in my opinion. I mentioned this, and another one before was the hidden gems that no one knew about. Carnival.
Yeah, we did talk about that for quite a while.
Yeah,
Very good. Very good show. Very decent. Like, but man, like they don't make shows like that again.
it was great. It was great. Just very mysterious, and they left it on such a cliffhanger. That's a movie that needs to come out for HBO to wrap things up.
Yeah,
You talk about a great cast, and the cast was so obscure, but the characters were obscure because it was like in a carnival, so they had kind of this freak show going on, and but the characters they got to play on were great, and the story really reminded. I think I compared it to Twin Peaks.
yeah.
Kind of a that mystery kind of genre.
And I'll throw out Twin Peaks as one of my honorable mentions.
Okay, yeah, good one.
You know, they needed that sequel or reboot, as you say, to finish it up. But no, good choice, Carnival. Very, very good choice. Very good show. That was back when HBO was putting out some of the better, shows because they were
Yeah.
given more license to do those sorts of things. Very, very good idea. All right, so that was your number 3. What is your number 2?
Well, number 2, I'm a Trekkie man. I gotta have a Star Trek on here, and my favorite of all is The Next Generation.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
who
yeah,
wouldn't, right?
yeah, right. And remember, the new Picard reboot that's coming out soon is supposed to be really good too.
Okay,
So
Brad, thank you, Brad. This is a perfect example. Now, is this a remake of
no,
The Next Generation,
no, it's a continuation. It's him
which is a
later on.
reboot?
No, it is not.
Continuation is not a sequel. Movies are sequels. Okay, when you have a TV series, you have to have a name for it. Okay,
No, it's
so
a sequel.
reboot. They're rebooting the Next Generation franchise.
But no, they're not. They're continuing the Next Generation franchise.
Yes, which is called reboot.
No.
I
Okay.
just want to see how many times I can say reboot. And
Let me ask you a question. Right? When you turn off your computer and turn it back on again, what are you doing?
restarting.
I love you! Hold on while I flip this table real quick.
My wife was to throw in an opinion.
I think that one of the biggest differences between those two words is the timeline.
Timeline.
So, like a sequel normally picks up where the story leaves off and continues. A reboot is normally years later, and they're rebooting it and refreshing it with a past history.
I disagree. I think a
Really?
sequel is a movie sequel. It doesn't apply to TV series. We could do it. We should do a whole episode on this.
The great debate.
On us arguing what is a remake or reboot.
We could have another whole show about that. You know that, right? Just the
I love
great
it. Let's
debate.
do it.
You pick pro, I pick con, and we'll just go for it.
And I'll bring the dictionary.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
But all right. Good choice. Next Generation, probably my favorite Star Trek show of all time.
It's got to be mine. It's awesome.
Though, don't get me wrong, a lot of the other Star Treks are really good in their own right.
Oh yeah.
Some of them are fantastic. But Next Generation is just a cut above, I believe. Just because of the acting and the characters in it were so well versed. They took what was great about the original Star Trek and just nailed it out of the park.
Absolutely.
And I don't think they were able to, I think Deep Space Nine did the next best, probably in my opinion.
Definitely.
But none of the others were able to hit the mark of Next Generation,
Right.
in my opinion. So it's a good choice. Very good number 2. Which makes me wonder what your number 1 could be if Next Generation is your number 2.
What could be Zach's number 1? Well, gotta know, man. I mentioned it before. Dallas.
Yeah, I know. I kind of figured that would be it. I kind of figured.
I've
Now,
got the original, and the reboot. Because I love them all. There's a lot of people who did not like the new series that were fans. I'm an avid Dallas fan, and I love the new show. So, you can take it or leave it, but I like the whole series. It just doesn't get much better than Dallas as far as a TV drama. I mean, it 80 million fans can't be wrong, right?
Or all of them could be, but it's still okay. Dallas is great. I had a really, really like vivid thought that when you decided TV dramas for Game of Thrones, I thought immediately he wants to talk about Dallas again.
Any chance to talk about
Any chance.
Dallas?
Any chance. I mean, which is great, which is fine. I mean, like there are going to be a couple on my list that you're going to be like, yep, okay, yeah, I knew you would go there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like Dallas is your magnum opus of TV show dramas.
It is.
I mean, I can't fault you on it. It was, for what it was pretty decent.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it's not my taste, but
It's not other people's taste. Especially more of the millennials. The younger crowd. It's going to take a certain type of taste to like that stuff.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, which is fun.
Yeah.
So, but good choice. You had a very solid top 5. I can't fault you for it.
Thank you.
Very good set. Mine is just a little bit off kilter. But before we get on to mine, would you like to do any of your honorable mentions? Do you have any that you'd like to talk?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Pretty much. I mean, all the obvious ones. I love Game of Thrones. Like I said, I'm just behind. The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. I'm just behind. American Horror Story. There's a show called Rescue Me that Dennis Leary did about the firemen. I never got to finish it, but I loved it. I was gonna say one, but I think it's gonna be on your list, so I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
Just all the obvious ones that everyone loves. I love too. Like I said, I just haven't really got to finish them.
Okay, well, I have lots of honorable mentions. I've been just like thinking about them and just writing them down as you've been talking.
Okay.
So, and trust me, none of them are on your list. It just goes to show that I watch a lot of TV,
Yeah,
and I probably shouldn't.
I got you.
You know.
No, everyone should watch more TV.
Right? I mean, so okay, so my number 5. Okay, I'll start with my number 5 as always. You know that I'm a big martial arts fan.
Yes.
Right? I love martial arts. Martial arts is probably one of my key movie genres that I always kind of gravitate towards too because they're fun, they're exciting, lots of action. So my number 5 is Into the Badlands on AMC.
Yeah, I started out on that. I watched 2 episodes. I don't know what happened. I wouldn't say I didn't like it. I don't know. I just didn't stick with it. But it had a really good premise.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Like as you go further along the storyline, it gets a lot better. Once you start like understanding the characters and the back world, like things start really becoming into focus.
Right.
But like lots of martial arts action. Lots.
Yeah.
And it really
That's why I was so intrigued by it.
Yeah, and like they were like it feels like people when they were making the show was like, hey, I like martial arts. Uh oh, now you're upside down. What's going on? There you
We're
are.
good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was weird. But it's like people when they were making it were like, I like martial arts. Let's make a martial arts TV show that focuses on martial arts. And somebody's like, well, I don't like that idea, but I like post-apocalyptic shows. Let's do something like that. And they're like,
Yeah.
but you got peanut butter in my chocolate. And it sort of was, that's how it went. So and I really liked the show. I really, really enjoyed it. The newest season's out right now, and it's really good. Really good.
You're good. Yeah.
So if at some point in time, always get caught up because it's relatively, and they got Frost from all the Cornetto trilogies. So you remember Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yes.
Nick Frost, the guy who plays his friend, the pudgy guy, he's in it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's great.
Did he just come in it, or is he?
He came in on the 2nd season.
Okay.
And he was a really good character. He plays a character named Badgie. So it's really, really cool. And he fights, and he's an actual martial artist, which is cool.
I did not know that. Yeah.
Okay, so number 4, relatively new. Okay, actually premiered last year. They already said that they've redone it for another season. Castle Rock on Hulu.
Yes, you mentioned this before. Yes.
A really intriguing sort of Stephen King, like homage to everything that he's done. And it's really nice how the writers are like, how are we going to fit this item from this book into this show as a nod to this? It's really, really interesting. Like, they brought in stuff from every bit of Stephen King's worlds. And it's really interesting, and they live in Castle Rock.
I really think I'd like it. Yeah.
I think you would too. The acting's pretty decent. An honorable mention I'll put right here. They actually did a show based on The Mist.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed that show, but they canceled it, and they didn't get a good ending, like, at all.
That stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You mentioned here, if I might interrupt you, this was another topic I brought up in my video I did about entertainment overload, and that's another thing. So you not only do you have all the shows on regular TV, cable, satellite, HBO. Now you have all the streaming services. All the, like, Stranger Things and just all these big shows that are on Netflix and Hulu and YouTube, like the Cobra Kai show. I really want to see that, but it's like there's just so much. There's just so much to get caught up on now. And it's like there's too many shows. I mean, you'd have to dedicate your whole life to just watching TV, which I have no problem with, but you can't do that.
Man, if only they pay me. If they pay me to watch TV,
oh man,
I would have like 3 TV sessions set up. I'd have my DS playing. Yeah, I could multitask, man.
There's got to be a job like that somewhere.
Oh God, I wish. That would be awesome. So that was my number 4. Really good. My number 3, though. My number 3 is almost like it's skyrocketing up. Second season's airing right now on AMC, which I'm loving everything that AMC has done.
AMC is really, really going out there. Walking Dead put them on the map.
Right? And after Walking Dead, it's like hit here, hit here, hit here, and people are loving it.
Yeah.
But in this case, number 3, American Gods.
Yes, I've heard about this too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Based on the Neil Gaiman book and comic books. Oh my gosh. This show is so well crafted, so well acted, and it leaves like just a satisfying feel in you whenever you're watching it.
Yeah.
So great, well done. Let's
another show I probably love. Yeah.
The guy from Deadwood, the older guy from Deadwood, he's in this.
Ian McShane.
Yeah, Ian McShane, such a glorious actor, man.
He is great.
Oh, and he plays. Well, now if you haven't watched it, he plays Mr. Wednesday.
Okay.
Do you know the premise of the show is, right?
Yeah. Which god is he?
I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, so that's one of the surprises. Like
it's kind of it is kind of the surprise at the end of the first season.
Okay.
But his name is Mr. Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay. But basically, for all you people out there who have not seen it or even heard about it, American Gods is basically their gods are still alive, but they're in America, and they are fueled by belief. And there's going to be a war between the old gods and the new gods. The new gods being media, technology, world globalization, things like that. Whereas the old gods, as we know, is like Jesus and Krishna and
Buddha.
Yeah, all well, Buddha's not a god.
I know. I was just wondering if you did.
Yeah, I know. But it's very well written, very well acted, so good. Oh my gosh. I actually just watched, got caught up today, watching the episodes that I'm behind. And it does come on Sundays on AMC. If you haven't watched it, I would advise it at some point in time. I think you'd love it, Zach. I really think that you would.
Yeah, I really do.
Okay, okay, but that was my number 3. My number 2, we have already talked about on the show. Walking Dead.
Okay.
Okay, I was a big fan of Walking Dead before the show even aired because I've read the comics and I really enjoyed the comics. And then when I watched the show, I was like, all right, I can kind of dig this. It's kind of different from the books, and
Yeah.
it really kind of sunk me in. And I really like. I know there have been some hit and misses with the seasons, but it's kind of like The Simpsons in a way, in my opinion. The Simpsons has like, it's kind of like a wave sometimes. Like, you'll have a
Right.
great season, and then a not so good season, then a great season, then a not so good season.
Yeah.
But I really feel like,
SNL will have really good episodes, really bad episodes.
right. But I really think that Walking Dead, like, this season has been great and heart wrenching, and it's like very destructive almost to your psyche by
Right.
watching it. And you're behind, so I can't
I
talk
am.
to you about anything that
Sorry.
happens.
Yeah.
People
Walking
die.
Dead, when it first came out, it was so refreshing to have a show like this with zombies.
Yeah.
Because all they've done is vampires this, vampires that. Vampires was the thing.
Yeah.
And
But they were like
I've always
they were
I've
hot
always loved
vampires.
zombies more. Yeah, and then they had to be the hot, wimpy vampires that glowed and stuff. And I have nothing against vampires, but it got too much. I've always liked the zombie stories better, and for them to have a TV show, yeah, was really good. I'd never read any of the graphic novels, but
Oh, they're good. But I mean, there are certain things in the graphic novels that that are different in the show. Like Carol. Carol's a big person in the show, right?
hmm
She dies in the graphic novels like really early on.
yeah.
She kills herself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, after her daughter dies, which actually happens in the comic books,
hmm
she kills herself. She can't do it anymore. But Carol in the show is just like one of everybody's favorite characters.
Yeah.
And Daryl isn't even in the comic books at all. So,
It's funny how they do that sometimes.
well, it likes to keep people on their toes,
Yeah.
so, which is good. Now, my number 1, I am finding more and more people have never heard of this show. I know I've talked to you about it for, at least once or twice, and I've tried to get other people to see it, and it's really, really good show. It's probably, like, I cannot wait for the next season to come out, which is already said it's going to be the last season, which makes me sad. But it is Legion on FX.
Ah. Yes.
That show is like a fever dream of just weird, awesome, amazing X-Men related storytelling.
Right.
And Dan Stevens, I don't think that man can do any wrong now.
Yeah.
Literally, I believe that man is probably the new Gary Oldman.
Nice.
I mean,
Pretty big shoes. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, those are really, really big shoes. But I really feel like Dan Stevens, you give him a role and he will nail that role out of the park
Yeah.
every single time. I have seen him in so many shows and just like, what? That's Dan Stevens?
Yeah.
But really, really good show, very well acted, and just everything in it is so meticulously done to mess with your head. Because it's all about his psyche, because he's
Right.
He's insane. He's got multiple personality disorder. So not everything that he sees is real, but not everything that that isn't real isn't actually real. And it's really kind of trippy in that fashion. But it's so well done, so well written, so well acted. And I cannot wait for the next season to come out. Now, my other honorable mentions, which I'm surprised that you didn't mention this one. Lost.
I never saw Lost.
You never watched Lost? Oh.
Never watched Lost.
So well done. The entirety of the show was great until the ending.
Yeah.
And the ending felt rushed. Because it's like they ran out of ideas and they're like,
I've
know what?
heard that. I've heard a lot of people were disappointed. One of my honorable mentions would be Sopranos. I would put it on my list, but
Yeah.
the ending was so horrible that,
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Firefly.
Never saw that.
Jeez, Zach.
It's a good sci-fi show. I know. I missed it.
Okay.
Hannibal. I thought Hannibal would be on your list.
It's an honorable mention. Thank
Yeah.
you for bringing that up. Hannibal is on my honorable mentions list because it was really well done. But
Yes.
like I, couldn't put it on there. There's a show from England. Okay, Misfits.
Haven't heard of that. Oh, I think you've talked about that before. They're where they're kind of like the superheroes, or they have superpowers.
Yeah, they have superpowers, and it's but it's kind of like almost a comedy drama. But
Right.
it's really funny, really good. Show on Netflix, The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes, you've talked about that before too.
Yeah.
I know I'd love it.
Lie to Me.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, good show. Good show. Basically, this guy is a professional lie detector. Like, that's what he does. That's what he studies. And so
Okay.
he, like, goes on, like, crime. It's like a crime drama. But
Yeah.
he's, like, can see, when people are lying. Psych on USA. One of my favorites. But it's a comedy, So, I didn't know if I could put that on there.
No, you
Literally,
can't.
I've literally got so many.
Yeah, we do too. Blue Bloods. You
Blue
like
Bloods?
Blood? You like the cop shows?
All the Marvel shows on Netflix,
Yeah.
And honestly, and this is going to sound bad, my number one on this list, which I really wanted to be number one besides Legion, but this last season has not been good at all.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Doctor Who's been my favorite show for, the biggest part of my life. I remember,
Well, it's been on forever.
yeah, I remember I was like 10 years old, staying up past my bedtime, watching PBS, Doctor Who with Tom Baker, just like traveling it from there.
Right.
And just like this last season, I don't know, like they got rid of some of the writers from the seasons past. They're like, oh, we're going to do a brand new Doctor Who, and they brought in Jodie Whittaker, which is the first female Doctor, which is fine with me, doesn't bother me, but the episodes are so poorly written,
That's a shame.
and it makes it bad.
Well, hopefully in the next reboot, it'll be better. Oh, you love me.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot,
Sure.
very much so. But there you go, guys. Those are our top 5 dramas and lots of honorable mentions from the both of us of TV shows that we absolutely love. Now, if you have a TV show that you think we should watch at some point in time that you find to be great, or if you want to add some stuff on here, please leave a comment if you can. Like, share with your friends. We like to talk a lot. A lot. That's what we're doing here. But until our next episode, which I think you said you wanted to do Marvel movies because the new Marvel movie's coming out, right?
Endgame is out next weekend, everybody. Hope you're excited as we are.
Yeah, I mean, literally trying to find tickets for that now is you're scalping them by now.
Yeah.
So I haven't even bought my tickets because I'm working. I'm working when it comes out.
Sorry, that sucks.
I know. So don't spoil it.
Oh, never. I would never do that.
But we're going to be doing Marvel movies next week and hopefully be prepared for Endgame, which is going to be fantastic. So Zach, is there anything that you would like to add before we go?
Yeah, check out my videos, The Cynical Bastard, on the Movie Messiah on YouTube, and support your art, because without art, the world would be even suckier than it is.
That's right. So remember, guys, always be kind to each other. We'll see you in the next video.